and welcome. If you're new around here, my name's Jack Barton, and I'm on a mission to help you with your wedding planning. If you're liking what you're hearing or seeing, then please do give us a thumbs up, or even better, hit that subscribe button. You join me here on this beautiful day in January at the wonderful Irnham Hall. Irnham Hall is a wedding venue situated in South Lincolnshire. We're roughly around 10 miles from the town of Grantham, and we are just over 20 miles from the city of Peterborough. It gives you all the feels of being completely in the countryside, but we're literally only 10 minutes away from the A1 in that direction. Let me show you around. Before we look closer at the hall, I'm going to take you on a short walk down the village to show you Irnham Hall's very own pub known as the Griffin Inn. The Griffin Inn not only serves the most delicious food and drink, but is the most wonderful guest house too. The pub gives you the opportunity to meet here the night before your wedding day with your family, so you can have a meal prior to your wedding day. It also makes the perfect meeting place for all your family and friends to gather before the ceremony starts. Behind you, just on your left, as you take a walk up a little slope, you will see on the left-hand side the village church, known as St Andrew's. A beautiful church, which we will go and have a bit of a closer nosy at. So you join me here right now, and I feel like I should be whispering because I'm in a church. Not that there's anybody here and I'm disturbing anybody, it just feels respectful always to whisper slightly when you're in a church. But you join me here in St Andrew's Church, which is literally a stone's throw away from Irnham Hall. And you can see churches are beautiful in their own right, but sometimes people will decide to just add a little bit more, just embellish a little bit more. And so they often do this in the form of flowers. Please don't clutter your aisles up too much, because people will need to enter the pews in and out of them when they're walking to their seats. So don't think about overcrowding this area too much, but often just having some pew ends can be a really nice little touch. If I get my camera angle correct, you can just put a pew end on the end of there, something that can be hooked on. It's not going to cause any damage to the pew. It could also be lifted off and removed and used elsewhere, would be really handy. So when you're thinking of using flowers anywhere within your ceremony, always think about being able to lift them and take them and use them elsewhere where you can later on. There's the church bells. I always think it would be an absolute crime to not have bells played at a church wedding. Definitely it's something that you should consider. I know sometimes it costs a little bit more, but just imagine on a bright sunny day, the bells are ringing as you step out, ready for that all-important confetti throw. So as you step out of the church and you walk round the back of the church, you can see this little gate here is what will take you back in to Irnham Hall itself. So you don't have to walk the roadway that I've just gone through. You just pop through this gate instead. The gate leads you back through to the very front of the house where we first started the video. Here you can see the well-landscaped lawns that slope down to the gorgeous lake and Irnham Hall's very own swing. The house isn't often used for the actual wedding day, but inside here is where the bridal suite is, and often brides will stay here the night before the wedding, and morning preparations will take place here too for hair and makeup for the bride and her bridal party. I always talk to my clients about the signage because it's so important when your guests arrive that they know exactly where they're going. So you can see here at Irnham, they've done exactly the right thing in pointing everybody in the right direction of where they should be going. So helpful. So we're going to head off now towards the ceremony room that's indoors, known as the Orangery. So this would be the area that your guests would park in. And once they've parked, you can see, again, really helpful, wedding this way. So your guests would take themselves up here. And again, more beautiful, beautiful grounds for lots of photo opportunities for you and your guests. We're going to head over here to the right first. So, currently not set up for a wedding at all. In fact, for a little bit of table tennis instead. But you can see what a beautiful room this is. And how lovely it is to have all of this beautiful daylight billowing in through these gorgeous 4 windows and big door. You would come in from this entrance here. So the guests would be waiting either side here. Bearing in mind that guests, again, don't want a cluttered aisle because the way that they need to enter their chairs would be from the aisle. Then you would stand here and say your vows here, and then sign your registrar forms here. So you join me right where you would normally say your vows. And it's a lovely room in here, and your ceremony is such a short section of your whole wedding day. So don't get too over fussy with what you do with your decor in here. Again, once it's full with people, they're going to create decor themselves, okay? They're all going to be in their lovely, bright clothing, chatting away, and that's what's going to bring the atmosphere and the decor alive in here. You don't need much else in here at all. We're going back outside the Orangery now because if, like me, you fancied a little outdoor ceremony rather than being stuck indoors, and you're happy to brave the weather and not fluster yourself about it and get married outside, even if it's cold, then Irnham Hall have their very own pagoda outside, which again could be decorated in any way that you wanted it to be. Again, it's a ceremony space, which is only a short time. So think about using decor that could be transferred to other areas and that's not necessarily permanent to just this ceremony space. You can see the Orangery there behind me. This is the outdoor space, the lovely pagoda, which is just a complete blank canvas, but you're right out here in all this lovely nature, all of these gorgeous trees and grounds and blue sky. And for me, there was nothing else more that I wanted than an outdoor ceremony. After the ceremony's over with, the guests then make their way towards the reception area, which is an exclusive area just for you and your guests. In fact, this whole venue is completely exclusive, which means that it's just for you and your guests. You're not going to come across people that you don't know, other than your catering staff, your waiters, your waitresses, but everybody else you will have invited to this venue. So there's no general public milling about anywhere, it's just for you and yours, which is absolutely delightful, especially the amount of space that you're getting here. It's a real bonus to any wedding day to have this completely to yourself. So you'd walk over from the ceremony and bring yourself across to this area. So these gates here are what would welcome you through from your ceremony area, whatever you've decided, whether it be a church, indoor, outdoor ceremony. You'd then come through these gates, which would be wide open for you, ready to walk into these walled gardens. And your guests would be lined up either side, ready to throw confetti over you. Take a little look. That, my friends, would be your runway down to your reception room, ready to go and get yourself a well-deserved alcoholic drink, I would say. So we're leaving the garden behind us now. Normally, after your wedding day, you'd be outside here milling about after the ceremony, having lovely drinks, chatting with friends, talking with all of those nearest and dearest that you haven't seen for a long while, them gushing all over your dress and things like that. Having yourself a nice little drink before you enter on into your reception area ready for your wedding breakfast. So join me as I take you into Irnham's very special wedding reception area. One thing that I absolutely love about this wedding venue is that it's a complete blank canvas. Notice how white the walls are, how clean and fresh it looks. Now, you totally don't have to do too much in here, but what you can do is completely inject your colours, your feel, your theme into this reception room. For those of you with beady eyes, you will have noticed that Irnham Hall have Chiavari chairs. Now, Chiavari chairs are beautiful within their own right. They need very little doing to them. So there is a cost-saving tip already, because if you don't have chairs that you don't have to cover and do anything with, being naked is completely fine. You can embellish them for sure. You can add more to them, but you don't necessarily need to do anything with these because they're lovely as they already are.
Round the corner from the reception room and the bar area, Irnham Hall have thought of everything and installed a bathroom especially for the bride, a large open space which is really accessible for her and her dress. Further on down the corridor are the restrooms for everybody else and a lovely small area that could potentially be used for small children for a little bit of quiet time and also those that may be breastfeeding.
Irnham Hall is run by the Benton Jones family. Now, not only do they reside here and have done for many generations, but they also take real good care of you. Real good care of you on the run-up to your wedding day, but on the wedding day itself, they cater for all your needs and for your guests and your family and friends too, which I think is really special. They're great fun and they're brilliant at what they do, and that's really important on the wedding day, that you know that you've got good people running the day with you.
So my final thoughts on this beautiful venue, let me see. Well, if I'm honest, Irnham Hall pretty much ticks every single box for everything that you could possibly require out of a wedding venue. From its church, to its pub, to its owners, to the way that it's run, the indoor, the outdoor ceremonies, the lake, the views, the photo opportunities. It really does have it all. Their very own wedding open day very soon on March the 26th. Everybody's welcome to come and visit Irnham and see what it could potentially offer for you and your wedding day. If you found this video helpful, then please do let us know in the comments. Give us a like and most definitely subscribe to our channel. We're going to be going and visiting some more venues very soon and taking you to see some wedding suppliers, which are going to help you with all of your wedding planning.